There's something very civilized, and I hate to say this, but very English about the ritual of drinking tea. When I went to England as a schoolboy and they talked about teas we'd never heard of in India. For instance, they used to all order something called Lapsang Souchong, which I'd never heard of, and frankly, it sounded like a breed of small dog. Or they ordered something called Earl Grey, which sounded like a dodgy nobleman. I laughed at them and I said, "You're mad. This is another thing you've stolen from India and you've ruined our tea with your pretension." And they didn't believe me. This has got nothing to do with India. So I got very angry and I went off and I did my research and I was determined to prove them wrong. Guess what? They were right. Tea is not Indian. I hate to admit this, but it's got nothing to do with us. Tea was cultivated by the Chinese. The British found it in China. They developed a taste for it, and because they wanted access to cheap supplies, they began cultivating it in India, Sri Lanka, Kenya, all of their colonies. The Indian tea industry was an export-only industry. But you'll say to me, what about this? Yeah, this is proper Indian masala chai. This came from the Brits? Well, yes and no. What happened was this, that in the 1950s, the Indian Tea Board, tired of depending on export markets, ran a huge campaign to get Indians to drink tea. That's when all this stuff became popular. That's when India became a nation of tea drinkers. Till then, we really had very little to do with tea. As for Lapsang Souchong, it is a Chinese tea. Earl Grey is a sort of cheaper quality ordinary tea perfumed with bergamot I was to discover. So what do we have to be proud of? Well, not the name. We keep saying chai, chai like it's ours, but it's not our name. Cha is the Chinese word. Chai is a corruption. But what we do have to be proud of is this. I always regard India's greatest export, Darjeeling tea. It's something that's world-class, it's special, it's fantastic, and for my money, it's the best tea in the world. Yeah, okay, it had a Chinese ancestor, but hey, it's ours now. Did you like the video? Well, if you did, post a like. It's easy enough to do. And if you have comments, suggestions, complaints even, send them to us. But whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe to Going Viral.